I have been asking for a full report on my husband's condition since 3 a.m. For hours, I was told nothing. Finally, because I literally started screaming, a doctor told me that Bill has a skull fracture and a broken wrist. But I wasn't allowed to see him, and I still would not know that he is in neurology if I hadn't started screaming again.
Mrs. Woodard, we understand.
Oh, don't you start taking that soothing tone of voice with me. I'm sorry. Now, perhaps you do understand the runaround I've been given, and perhaps you don't intend to prolong it. But when you stand there and you calmly announce to me after all my questions that my husband has spinal fluid running out of his nose, I have got to assume that there are many things that I have not been told.
Mrs. Woodard.
So, before any of you start giving me any more explanations on what's wrong with Bill, I want to warn you. I want you to be honest with me. I want you to tell me exactly what is going on. Do not spare me anything. And above all, don't take me for a fool.
You have not been lied to. Mr. Woodard has a basilar skull fracture, which has caused the leakage of spinal fluid.
Why?
Because the fracture opened a passage between the spinal column and the nose.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Mrs. Woodard, if you'd like to see the x-rays, perhaps the pictures would explain better than we can.
Thank you. I think I would like to do that. Is there any damage that could be caused by this leakage?
Well, in and of itself, the loss of spinal fluid is not a problem. What we're concerned about is infection getting into that open passageway.
Infection is the problem.
Yes, until the fracture's healed and the passageway is sealed up again.
What else?
Dr. Coleridge has given you a very accurate picture. We've held nothing back, Mrs. Woodard.
Thank you. All right. Now, how does a fracture mend? What's the fastest possible way?
Well, the best course would be to let it mend naturally, wouldn't you say?
I would. Bed rest, nursing, monitoring, and most of all, time. Now, given all that, I would say your husband should be just like brand new.
All right. How long will this take? Weeks?
No, 2 months, 3, maybe more.
Month? Oh, that's impossible.
Nevertheless, it's the course we recommend.
Bill won't hear of it.
Well, at this point, it's really hardly his decision.
I beg to differ with you. It certainly is.
Mrs. Woodard, your husband, at least for the next few weeks, is going to be disoriented and confused. He won't really be able to make any decision competently. He may even have some temporary amnesia. Now, surely you can't expect him to think for himself.
I don't believe you. And of course, I just talked to him. He knew who I was. Look, he's tired. He has a headache. He's a little irritable. That's only natural. But the man is not a mental incompetent.
He was irritable because you asked him to listen to you and concentrate, which he cannot do.
He started to. And he will. He has to. I have to have his signature on some papers.
Mrs. Woodard, I doubt that he can even hold up a pen.
And the Senate race. The whole race rides on the next few months. He's got to keep pushing.
He can, Mrs. Woodard, once the fracture is healed.
That is going to take too long. Look, there has to be something else. A drug you can give him, anything to make him alert, even just for a few minutes.
I'm afraid not.
You said mending slowly was the best possible course. I asked you for the fastest. Is there another alternative?
There is surgery, yes.
I knew it. There is another way.
Surgery would be very dangerous. I wouldn't even consider it if I were you.
Fortunately, you're not me. Dr. Coleridge, I want you to tell me all about the surgery. I want to know all the details, exactly what will happen. Then I will lay it out for Bill, and he will choose his own treatment.
Mrs. Woodard, your husband won't choose. Mrs. Woodard, he can't.
Then I will choose for him.